Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Till Death Do Us Pod with me, Tova Lee.
And me, Michael Lee.
I am so excited about today.
Good to be back.
It's good to be back. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we took a week off, didn't we?
We couldn't be asked to do one.
Yeah, literally did not get around to it,
No.
did we? Yeah. But so much has happened since nothing happened.
Nothing's happened.
Nothing has happened.
Nothing's happened.
Honestly, we're living the same day over and over
the same
again.
room in 2
Literally,
weeks.
have I had a shower? I don't even remember. Honestly, but today is actually really exciting.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. First of all, it's a Valentine's Day special. And this year, Valentine's Day is going to be extra special because there's nowhere to go, nothing to do. You know, what are we doing anything?
It's funny reading the papers today because they're desperate. Like, what can they
do?
Promote? So it's like, the best nights in and the best food you can have delivered, the best things you can make yourself. Go to the supermarket and splash out on a really expensive bottle of wine. Anything.
I would really appreciate a brand that just came out and said it. It's shit. Like, this year is shit. Just sit at home and whatever. And it's just shit. Wouldn't you appreciate that?
That's a very, very good idea.
Honestly.
I'm also excited though because this is the first time in about a week I'm going to speak to another adult.
Yes.
Truly,
so
that's always good.
So good. So I thought that for this occasion we need somebody really special. And guess who is?
And they weren't available.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, and everyone we asked cancelled, so we're stuck with some Australian.
No, today we have the amazing Christian Hall, which honestly I'm obsessed with. I love, who we met a few years ago online. He is the creator of some extraordinary viral videos, over 600 million views worldwide. His videos of clothes folding have gone viral, obsessed.
Just the smartest content, just so highbrow.
Yes. And based in Australia. So thank you so much for joining us
Christian
today.
Hall here. Hi, Christian.
It's so wonderful to join you, and I just feel so privileged to be in Australia and hearing the fact that you guys are, I hope you're well, but you haven't had to dry July, or what was not even July, it's January. It's not even called dry January. Why you stopped? I'm sorry, I just don't understand the two of you. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I know. We're I don't know why. We wanted we didn't know we would be in lockdown, did we, when we sort of decided to do the dry January? It was before.
We drunk incredibly heavily.
So much.
That's why we did it.
2020 was a tough year.
It was. I actually think they should do a sort of dry cheese January, because we also had a really high intake of cheese.
Oh,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, I put on 8 kilos.
That's a stuff.
Cheese only.
Yeah.
Somebody, from cheese.
Somebody said to me yesterday, she posted and said, first lockdown, I was really into working out, and, we all sort of worked out, and now second lockdown, I'm really depressed. I gained a stone. And I was like, girl, you need some catching up to do. We were 1 stone first, lockdown. I'm already up another stone. What's going on with you?
I love that time. The way we tell time is what our weight used to be.
Totally.
Back when I was, 3 stones lighter 4 months ago.
Yeah, so our skin is not looking great because of the non-alcohol. It's just that it's stretched because of the extra weight. Just so you know.
I think you both look so good.
Oh.
It could be the low res quality of the Zoom call,
Exactly.
but you both look for parents of 3 children, which is in my books 4 children too many. You guys look really refreshed.
Well,
It is.
thank you.
We are recording this 10 a.m. as well. It's quite early in the morning.
It's
We haven't
early
had a
morning.
full day yet. That's probably why.
Plus, I'm filming later, so I have makeup on. Usually, it's you
okay.
know the days that I'm filming.
We normally do this in our pajamas. So, yeah.
The hair's brushed.
But Christian, what have you been up to? Obviously, just give everyone around the world where Australia is with the lockdown, what you can do, what you can't do, and what you've been doing work-wise.
So I'm in Brisbane, which is Queensland, which is the sunniest part of Australia. It's just so beautiful, warm beaches. Our lockdown was 3 weeks. I know. I'm very lucky. And what have I been? I'd love to say, I've been exploring outside. I'm an inside person, so lockdown for me was nothing. I was like, yep, no change to my life, and I've just been inside the entire year, and just been eating a lot of caramel chocolate and cheese And I wrote a book. Oh my gosh.
Oh, great.
There are two. Are there two authors here or are there three authors?
Just the two.
Two.
I've
Oh,
never really
well,
known
kick him
people.
out. Out you go.
know.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Too smart for you.
Yeah.
I know.
if you-
Congratulations on the book. I saw that. I'm so excited for you. Is it out now? Is it out or
No.
is it coming out?
No, it's not out yet. Oh, which makes me nervous because the idea is like, wow, Christian's written a book, but the contents of the book is average at best. I begged for them to put pictures in to like bulk it out. So there's some old family photos.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But I
So
haven't really.
So what is it? Is it a memoir? Is it fiction? What is the book?
It's a gay erotic sex novel.
Is it really?
No, it's no. That's book number 2 though.
Okay.
There are a few Christian Hull sexcapade stories in there, and
Right.
and then it's just mostly.
Is that why it's
like
such a small book? Did you
I had to bulk it out with photos, just a lot of nudes in there. And I've got triplet brothers, so I've got 3 younger brothers.
Wow.
That when I was 5, they came along. Yeah, I thought
Wow.
you were morons for 3 children. My mother had
Yeah.
4.
Wow.
and so
triplets. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
That's where most of my content, because I've made a lot of sort of mum content. I put
I
on a
know.
blonde wig, imitate parents, and
Trish.
my childhood. Yes, Trish.
Trish. My favorite character. I love
Mm.
Trish. That's how I discovered you. Oh, Trish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I see myself.
The angry
in
mum.
her, you know?
The drunk, angry mum. I relate to that. Yeah. I
Exactly.
hate my children, so
I guess honestly, like looking in the mirror, but it's like I have an Irish mom, so I do. I see a lot of like similarities that sort of like
yeah, right.
yeah. It's very kind of
Just honest and gruff. Yeah.
very
Talking
honest.
through the
You know,
teeth.
talking through the teeth.
Yeah.
That was my father. He would
Oh,
never
really?
open his mouth. You
Oh.
get to your room. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, so are you saying the title of your book? Is it already up for pre-orders? Or
Oh, yes. So it went on pre-order last week.
Yay.
It's called Leave Me Alone. I don't really like
Right.
human interaction.
I love that.
That's why I've really enjoyed the I shouldn't say I've enjoyed the pandemic. It's a crisis.
Yeah.
But social distancing, oh God, that is just a blessing. Being in lockdown, avoiding people, it's a great excuse not to socialize. I don't know whether there's something going on in my head, but I hate people more than the normal person. It's not hate people, it's just leave me alone. Like, go away.
Yeah, I like the title.
Like-
It links in with your fuck off pendant that you
Yeah.
have-
Yes.
yeah.
Actually, yes, that's what I did I forgot about that. God. In
Yeah.
lockdown, I started making these resin pendants, just like shitty jewelry. They've got a little flower in them. And it was a little gimmicky thing I did. And I scream abuse into the pendant. So as it's curing, as this
Wow.
resin
yeah.
cures, I yell fuck off into it.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, fuck off, leave me alone, you stupid bitch. Go away. You're not social distancing. And then I sell them online. And then they took off. Like I didn't expect to
know.
sell. I've sold maybe like 17,000 of them.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, I've had to get like I've hired 2 full-time staff. I've got 4 casuals. Like it's full on. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Amazing.
incredible, isn't it?
I guess a lot of
Selling
people just want
shitty jewelry.
people to fuck off, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
It.
And I am cashing in on that.
As you
Mm.
should. Okay, so we're gonna talk about dating disasters,
Yes, 'cause
right?
next week is
It's Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember when this is going out, but it's the Valentine's Day special. So we thought, what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day, which I kind of feel like everybody kind of hates, really.
Oh,
Yeah, by
it's a
sharing.
Hallmark holiday.
Yeah.
Yes, by sharing some
Yeah.
dating disasters. But wait, before we talk about dating disasters, I feel like this is relevant to mention because obviously you're in Australia and we have been watching Married at First Sight Australia.
I cannot believe you. Is it shown on your television or are you just
Yeah,
like
it's on,
bootlegging
it's
it?
on one of the cable channels. In fairness, we in the UK, a few years ago, there was Married at First Sight, and it was a very kind of serious documentary. There was 2 couples that were chosen, and it was a very slow process. So I kind of, when I saw there was other country versions,
thought it would be the same.
And then someone said to me, "You've got to watch the Australian version," and I was in shock.
That shit insane.
I was in shock. It is mental.
Well, so I hate reality TV because I just think it treats its contestants appallingly. And I've got a bit of inside knowledge. So you've got like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and that, you know, they huge in the States. We have them here in Australia. But I had a fan reach out to say, "Oh, I'm a cameraman in America, and I was subcontracted to go and film Married at First Sight." And he said he was shocked at how badly these contestants are treated. And that's the whole reason it's so batshit insane, is because they sleep deprive them, they make them do all these crazy shit. And like a friend of mine was in a bridal party as well. So I know Mel Lucarelli, who's on the current season that you're seeing.
Season 6, I think.
Yeah, I think we're up to season 709 in Australia. So you got a lot of
we're on season 6 in the UK. Right.
But, you know, she is insane. Like, she's the most insane person I know. But on that show, she's like the calmest. Like, she's like the most level-headed. And I'm just...
She was nuts in episode 1. I thought, oh, my God.
Yeah.
She's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And now she's barely shown.
Yes, she doesn't get a shoe in because all the others are so crazy. And you think, like, are they really like that? And I'm here to tell you, yes, because that season finished maybe 2 years ago here in Australia.
Right.
Wow.
And they're always on. We've got like Current Affair, which is a show, you know, dodgy builders exposed, or it's like a news, a current affairs show. And all the Married at First Sight contestants were always on it for fights in the street, or like just really fucked up shit. Yeah. So that's why it's so riveting.
But I always assumed that some of them, like those heightened reality shows or drama reality, whatever, that's scripted, were actors dropped in to wind people up. But you're telling me that
no, they're absolutely not. So they're just sleep deprived. Like they sleep deprive them. They pepper them with alcohol. Like they give them so much alcohol. And then they just film for like 8 hours and then edit, 10 minutes of the cattiest, most bitchiest bit.
We've seen like the jumps in edit where you realize that this
the daytime. The daytime to nighttime.
Yeah, it's just like this moment was just created in the editing room. Like this actually did not happen. Yeah. We've seen a lot of those moments.
There are dedicated like YouTube channels to like how Married at First Sight edits, and there's one hilarious one where there's a conversation happening and it cuts. It's clearly the daytime. It just cuts to someone else, but it's nighttime, and they're piecing these 2 clips together.
Yeah, we've seen moments like that as well. But what is it? It's so weird because even though it's the most awful thing I've ever watched in my life, I'm still watching it.
That's it.
It's the highest rating show in Australia.
Is it really? Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So bad. Yeah.
That's a dating disaster. I don't know one successful. Of the 9 seasons we've had, I think there's maybe 2 couples that have stayed together.
Wait, so we're watching this current season, and our favorite is Cameron and Jules. Please tell me they lasted.
Oh,
he's a cricketer.
The cricket.
Oh no!
My God, I feel like there's so much like
spoiler alert
on, and then it's off again, and then it's on again. The show finishes, and it's on and off, and then there's a kid, and then it's not, and then it's like it's.
Do you think that, Christian, people are going on it generally want to meet a partner, or are they going on for TV fame and fortune?
No, so the Mel, who I knew, hadn't slept with anyone in 8 years. She genuinely wants to find a partner. But also she knew what it would do because, we worked together in media. She knew what it would do for her career, and it's always a little launch pad.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, they'd probably go in with a bit from column A, a bit from column B.
Right.
Yeah.
Some obviously just want, to launch an Instagram account, or I'm not sure. But it's pretty bad the way they get treated, though. A lot of them end up in having therapy because of it's just how they're edited. And then we as Australians will just absolutely go to town on them and believe everything we see.
But some of the families, I mean, we're in the UK and there's some people out there that you wouldn't want to spend any time with.
Some of
the families.
Do not offend my Australian followers.
I'm just saying some of the families.
Okay.
I'm not.
No, some of the families are. No, it's a typical Australian family, batshit crazy, and protective, and just go like. I mean, it's not the typical Australian family because I go, where do they find these people? And yeah,
I love how like we've just literally thrown you as like, okay, we have an expert here from Australia.
Could just have never watched it.
But I've never watched one episode.
Oh, really?
And
I can't escape it here. It's the #1 show in the country.
Right,
and I've had a guy I went to school on it, a girl I worked with. I know another one I used to work with has been on it. Like everyone knows someone who's been on Married at First Sight.
Would you go on it if they offered?
I was asked. So I got asked if I would. I didn't. I think it was in the casting process. So they said, we'd love to cast a same-sex couple. We've put your name forward. Would you be keen? And I was like, no, thank you. Like this was probably as the Trish was taking off. So they probably had seen a bit of that.
Yeah.
And I was getting in that way. But I just thought, no, I don't. Yeah. I'd never do a reality show. I hate them.
Because you have no control on how you're going to be portrayed.
No control. Zero control.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bitch and I know I'd be the villain because I'm just so grumpy and I hate people that I would just come off as a real piece of shit dick.
But
which
also,
is what I am. But I don't want people to know that.
You had profile, they came to you, but I'm assuming as a reality show, the contestants don't actually get paid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, that's the thing. They get paid just the bare minimum, which is why I find it really upsetting because they do 8 to 12 hours a day, every day for a month, and they get next to nothing, and they got to quit their jobs. So you've really got to really want it.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on from First Sight Australia, even though I feel like we could literally sit here and talk about it all day. I've looked online actually when I googled dating disasters and came across some really good tweets. Actually, I'm going to read a few out. So these are tweets. These are not from my followers. These have been online, and then I hope you've got a good story for us. Have you thought of a story, Kristen? You have something for us?
Dating disaster?
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I've got a lot of highly inappropriate ones, but I mean, I've been ghosted. That was pretty hurtful.
Oh, you were ghosted? Wait, so what? You texted ghosted. And then sort of no reply?
Well, no. So we got to the restaurant and sat down, and he got up and left. Go to the bathroom and just never came back.
Really?
And I was am I sharing it now?
Yeah, go on then. Well, you started. Let's do it.
And then what happened was we'd ordered. And so 2 mains came out and I ate both of them. But he what I realized when I went to pay was at least he'd paid for his. So he'd sort of gone up, paid for his meal and then left. And I just was waiting there, and then I was texting and being like, "Are you all right? Like, where are you? Is everything all right in there?" And he's like, "I've left." I was like, "Oh, I see how it is."
Wow. Wait, was it a blind date, like a first date, or was it just some?
I was like, I told you, I'm short and fat and have a high pitched voice. Like, I'm not. It's like he's not walking into this going like, I'm not about to have a date with a hot stud here. I'm dating a gimp essentially. And then he just was like, oh, not for me. But hey, look, he did what I probably would have done. It's just like why push shit uphill? Let's just end this now. And he just
why did he order? That's what makes me laugh.
Well, I think he was going to try and push through the date. He was like, yep, I'll get it was only a small meal. And then he was like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I was like, great, because it was really hot. So I was like, wow, this is so great. I can get sexy men. And then he just disappeared.
Wow.
I still ordered dessert for 2 though.
Of course. I went on a blind date once. So this before I met you, obviously.
During
hopefully. Currently.
Last month. What? Yes.
We went on a blind date. And it was so awful because first of all, because right? Like you when, especially in a blind date, you sort of like, it's a bit like a casting or a job interview.
Could never do a blind date. Yeah.
But like the first few seconds, but you want to be polite. Yeah, right. So I was like, oh no, like
instantly.
no. But I'll just sit here. We'll have a meal and fine. And we went to the sushi place, and the entire night he talked about his mother. And how much things were costing. Do you know that like over the menu? Ooh, this is that cost this, and I was like, oh god, like the whole evening it was excruciating.
In fairness to me, it was a very expensive restaurant.
That was. I still, but it's funny because I still actually remember. I remember him clearly. You'd think like I'd push it out in my mind, but I haven't. Wait, I want to read a few of these.
We've got some extraordinary ones here.
So again, this is from Twitter. A guy called Benny said, I once took a girl to Starbucks because I forgot her name.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
But have we not all been there though? Have you been there? No? Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay.
I've had a moment where I wasn't on a date, but I was with someone. In the gay world, I mean, when you do a bit of this, I'm just bumping two fingers together. It's not dating, but I was with someone that I'd been with maybe 3 or 4 times, and we went to get coffee. I bumped into a friend, and my friend was Karen, and I was like, Karen, this is Karen. And then that moment where I went, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I paused, and I just pretended to look over at a distraction over on the other side in desperate like panic, in the hopes that the person I was with might introduce himself. And he did. He was like, oh, I'm Jeremy. I was like, oh my God, sorry. Jeremy, Karen, Jeremy. Like I was, that moment.
Did you get away with it?
Yeah, I did. Right. Yeah, because I suddenly pretended like something was happening over on the other side, and I looked away to meet it. And then I was just like, please introduce yourself so I can't forget your name. Yeah. But it's a good technique if you...
I've done that many times when I forget names, and the one time I didn't get away with it, I stupidly went, I'm going to go for it, and it was like someone I knew, I knew a long time ago. So I was like, Tova, this is Steve, it's Richard.
Oh shit!
And he was really angry. He was really angry that I'd forgotten. He was like angry and disappointed that I got it wrong.
I would be though. Yeah. I'd be devastated if someone forgot my name. But I understand, like, I've got a terrible memory.
Me
but
too.
Like you can never go in blind. That's the stupidest idea. You just I don't even know what you do. It's just so
So I feel like as a couple, you have to have that rule going into social events, because Mike knows I'm awful with names. Like I don't know who anybody is. I never remember. So like our rule is, just introduce yourself immediately. Like I'm speaking to someone, just come in and introduce yourself. Don't wait, because I don't know anybody's name.
That's so great.
You're gonna forget my name.
No, if I'm talking to somebody in a party and you're coming, like don't wait for me to introduce.
Hi, I'm Michael, and then they introduce.
Let them introduce.
Genius.
Yeah, and now by the way, I find, so obviously not doing dating scene, but for me it's like more about new moms. So for example, my daughter has a friend that she goes with, sees quite a lot, and I text her mom like literally twice or 3 times a week, and she's in my phone as mom of the name of the girl.
Yes.
I have no idea what her name is, and this is a person that I talk to twice a week on WhatsApp and see in real.
Gone beyond her.
It's gone beyond the point, You
just ask. Here's a really good one. You just ask if your daughter's friend comes over, goes, oh, how does your mum spell her name?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
You know what I was told by a celebrity, because they meet a lot of people who therefore assume you're going to remember them. And obviously you're a celebrity, you meet lots and lots of people, especially people who work for you, but then you can't remember their name. But it can be embarrassing they work for you. So one tip I was told is, if you're partying, blah, 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 and you've forgotten, I'll turn to you, Christian, and go, so what's your name again? And you'll go, it's Christian. And you just go, no, I know it's Christian. What's your surname? Hull. Yeah, someone was talking about you earlier, but I couldn't remember your surname. And that's the way to do it.
God.
Is that clever?
That's very clever.
Yes.
Starbucks is always a good one. I mean, I'm a long way from a Starbucks to be like, let's go to Coffee.
Yeah.
The most annoying thing, by the way, now in modern like lockdown thing is when you get Zoom calls and they don't put their name. And
Oh my God. Yes.
Or even worse, they're using somebody else's Zoom. So a name comes up and then you think that's the name. And then you're like, oh God, it was somebody else's Zoom and you were calling them something else. That's happened.
You were calling this woman by the name of her husband.
Yes.
Wow.
Of course, her name isn't John. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's another quick one. This is from Brian. I met a girl online and had her over for dinner. Heard ripping behind me while I was cooking. She was opening my mail.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was opening my mail.
Have you ever been on a date or been with someone that's just done something that you go, what the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
I did go on a first date once, many years ago, and I was invited back to her house on the first date, and she said the immortal words, "I'm just going to go and slip into something more comfortable." And I was like, "Wow, I think it was my first ever first date." That's why, because I remember it's like, "This is unbelievable."
Wow.
Let me go and slip into something more comfortable. And I waited 10 minutes and she came back in her pajamas and her big oversized slippers that look like tiger heads. And I was like, well, that's literally more comfortable. Get the whole out. That's literally went to slip into something more comfortable.
Wow.
Get more clothes than she was wearing before. Were
you naked in the room by that point? Had you just taken off all your clothes, and just stood
dicks
there?
Out, you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. No?
Wow.
Oh, that's funny. That's great. Wait, I want to read one from one of my followers. So Lindy says, I dated a guy and we were in the middle of a heavy petting session. We were both young and fairly inexperienced. I slid down the zip of his jeans, but unfortunately it got caught in his foreskin. I love how both of you knew where this was heading. Both of you did that before I got there. I tried to help by seeing if I could pull the zip.
Oh God. Well,
but
he just went from being
work. Eventually he managed to get himself free, but he was in agony. There was a lot of we debated on going to hospital, but we didn't have a car and he was too embarrassed, so he just went home. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So so we went from, well, it was a relatively cheap circumcision then, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't think you could beat that, can we?
I can.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So in my whore days, when I lived at home, I used to, drive, and I used to hook up in my car.
Nice.
Anyway,
classy.
So I had this, so classy, very bougie. My Nissan Pulsar that was lots of car accidents. And I had one guy, and it was a bit awkward, and we were both naked, moving, and this might be really revealing, but I've openly shared this story on my podcast. Like, I am uncircumcised. And there's something called you're like, great, thank you, didn't need to know. What we call a banjo. Have you ever heard of a banjo string? What they call the banjo string?
No.
Yes, I think so.
What is it?
So it this is a real lesson in genitalia here, but it's a piece of skin that connects the foreskin to the penis.
Yeah.
And things happened. There was a bit of friction, and he slid one way, and the banjo string ripped.
Oh God!
And it was really painful. And I was like, I think everything will be right. It was a bit dark. I was like, oh no, that hurts. I'm really in a lot of pain right now. I said, oh, thank you. You need to leave. And I turned the car light on, and I was just sitting in a pool of blood. It's just so much blood. And then I was like, I don't want to. It's so embarrassing. And I was only maybe like 24, 25. Oh, no. And then I went and I had a shower, and it's just like, the water, the pain. And then I just thought, I'll just leave it and hope that everything's all right. And I mean, in the end, everything was good. It's still hurts, but
no, it healed.
Not as embarrassed.
Oh God.
Yeah, but banjo string ripping is a pretty common injury to get. I found out later.
I've got one here.
Is that story? You said you told it on your podcast. Remind me the name of your podcast, just so I.
It's called Complete Drivel.
Right, good one.
Is it in the book? Is that story in the book?
No. No. God, I can't even remember. Did you finish your book and then just forget what was in there?
Totally.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what's in it.
Are you doing an audiobook? Because I had this moment. Yes. So when I went in to record the audiobook, it was about 6 months after I wrote it. I was like,
who wrote this shit?
What?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
In my book.
Wow,
this
is a really good story.
Yeah, there were moments where I was like, this is so good. And then
I wonder what happens.
Yeah, a few pages later, like, oh God, like this is not good at all, Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
I'm a bit worried about that.
So wait, have you done it yet? Have you done the audiobook?
No, I'm doing it next week.
Oh, okay, amazing. It's fun. It's actually fun. It's a fun, weird experience.
Take a long time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I
liked it.
Yeah, apparently, it's going to take forever. And I'm not good at reading.
I was awful, by the way. Like I was really honestly, I was like stumbling on my own. I'm sure the technician thought, did she actually write this book? Like why is she having so much trouble reading it? Yes.
I've got a few more coming. Tracy, first date. He showed up an hour late, drove through McDonald's, said, "You want anything?" Parked to the zoo and said, "I've got a condom."
That's 10 out of 10 for me. McDonald's drive-through, yes, please. In the car at a zoo.
Everyone loves a zoo.
True.
Honestly, what's wrong with that?
Wait, I have a zoo one. Judith, who's one of my followers, said, a lad once took me to the zoo for our first date. He drove around the car park for ages, missing loads of spaces. Then he said, "Oh, here it is," and parked next to a car. His parents' car. He had brought his parents on our first date. It was also our last date.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. It's actually lots of people telling stories about people bringing their parents to first dates. There were a few of those. Extraordinary.
This is a good one. Ruth, he took me, a female, to a gay club, got drunk, came out of the closet, met a guy, and gave me $40 to catch a taxi home. Wow,
nice.
That's amazing.
So good. But a gay club could be really fun. But I wonder if he knew. Like, did he know? Do you think? Was it like planned?
You can't. I mean, he turned on a dime if he didn't know.
Yeah.
God, show him one gay and he's like, "Yep,
yeah."
Well, at least he paid for the cab.
This is one. Sarah, he took me to a movie, pulled a used large popcorn bag out of the trash can, and went for his free refill. Wow.
Wow.
No. That's got to give it thrifty. Movies are expensive. I'd like go in for the kiss. I'd be like, that's just turned me on so much. Legend.
We bring our snacks to movies. Is that awful?
Yeah, that's no. Like, do you fill a backpack and then sneak all the food in?
Pretty much.
I mean, is it not allowed though?
No, of course
not. It's not allowed at all.
That's
how they make their money.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got 3 kids. It costs a fortune to go to the cinema.
Your dad. Yeah. So the 4 of us, it was a very rare occasion, and he would go to Woolworths, and we'd always have the $2 bag of popcorn. He'd pop a few of them, sneak it in his backpack, and great, because it's like $17 for a large popcorn. It's astronomical.
Even just a bottle of water is ridiculous. This is this bloody water.
I mean, when the kids were younger, we were like, those really awful parents that used to bring sort of like, cut up fruits and sort of raisins. The kids hated us for it. And now they're like,
right.
We want the chocolates. We want the popcorn.
Yeah.
We can't get away with that anymore. But like it used to be carrot sticks. And now it's like.
No, see, that's good parenting. But you were a good parent and then you caved in.
We used to go to cinema. I used to go to cinema nearly every week. Didn't I? I used to go to the cinema nearly every week
with the girls. You mean?
When they were very young.
But we also went to that cinema, the morning club cinema that had like
older
movies, so that was cheaper. But we love going to the cinema.
Yeah, I know. Simple pleasure.
Remember cinemas?
Remember 2019 when we could go to the movies?
I mean, honestly, we watch movies now and like there's like just normal things, like people walking in a mall or just holding hands in public, whatever. And I go, remember.
Yeah.
It's like it's emotional, honestly.
People holding hands.
Are your cinemas open now? Like, are they just open?
Yes. Yeah. So there's a few. I mean, in Brisbane they are. It's really volatile though, because it changes, because Western Australia just had a 5-day lockdown.
Oh, right.
But we're really quick to respond. So Western Australia had like an outbreak of 2 people, and they were like, right, shut it down. So they shut the whole city down for 5 days to work out if this was going to be a cluster that was going to explode out. And
That's
so
amazing. Like, you've done so well.
we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, there's really few places in the world that manage to sort of really control it in that way, you know?
I mean,
Honestly.
there are obviously, sadly, costs involved with businesses shutting down for that period of time, and a lot of people have gone out of business, which is really sad. So,
but that's happened here as well.
It's a necessary evil. Yeah. Well, yeah. On the other end, yes, it's gotten to a point where it's so bad, and you've got to shut down for quite a while.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have another?
Cool.
What a segue.
Great
cool.
Segue.
Okay.
Yeah, from death to funnies.
I'm just I'm so depressed. I'm like, when is this going to end? Is it going to end?
Here's a good one. Ring by Spring says, in the middle of the date, she called her ex and decided to get back together with him. What an awkward end to a date.
Wait, what happened?
In the middle of the date, she called her ex and decided to get back with him.
Oh my God.
While you're just sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah.
She couldn't even wait to get home.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked a friend as like a get out of jail free card, so when you go on a date?
Yes. Yeah. There's a certain call that would come in at a certain time. Call me at 9 and I'd go, hello. Oh no, really? Okay, I'll be sorry. I'm really sorry. And then I did that with a mate and he deliberately didn't call me. I was sitting at home giggling. And I kept glancing at the phone. But no, I thought my phone was on vibrate, and I don't know, I could feel it in my pocket. But that's fine, it's fine. And he deliberately didn't call me.
I feel like that's an obvious though now. Like, if that actually happened, would you even believe it? Do you know what I mean? Because like, it's so familiar. Like, people use it. Do you know what I mean? Like, would you even believe it?
Is there rules? Well, is there rules? Is there like first date rules on Tinder, Grindr? Is there rules now that, you know, you just go for a coffee rather than a meal? If you don't like each other, there's a sort of card you could play after 10 minutes. Yeah,
well, there's definitely I go coffee rather than dinner, because at least coffee you can like it's 2 minutes. It can be 2 minutes and it's done, and it's no awkwardness, and then you can never see each other again. Oh, hot, burning, gotta finish this, hate this date. Whereas dinner, like, you're trapped. But at least if a friend calls you like, oh no, my grandma, I've got to go, you're like, oh, well, that's a polite way to tell me that you don't like me. But okay, see you later.
I see. Yeah.
It's not as crippling as just ghosting someone mid-meal.
I do the phone trick. It's different. Like, when you walk, have you ever done this when you walk down the street?
Oh, pretend to be on the phone.
Yeah, you see somebody you really don't want to talk to, and you're just like talking. Yeah,
I learned. Oh my God, worst.
Yeah.
But the trick with being on the phone is, you've got to be on an angry phone call, or a phone. Yeah, because no one will approach you. So if I see one of those people who, this is going to sound awful, you know, it's like, will you sign up to help the children in Africa? You know, when they stand on the road and they, can you donate to this cause? I'm like, oh,
chuckers,
I would call them. Yeah. And I feel bad and I never know what to say. So I just pretend to be on an angry phone call, because if they engage in a conversation with me, I'll be there for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The worst thing is you pretend you're on an angry phone call and then the phone rings.
Yeah. I just said that.
Oh, did you?
I literally just said
we're
that.
married. I don't listen to you.
Married life.
Wait, but I this is like completely off topic now, but there's this guy who is, you know, he's collecting money for a children's charity right outside our local Tesco's, which is like a local supermarket.
Yes.
Very, very pushy. I don't like that. It's like, he's like, he'll go, oh, children charity. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, and he was like, oh, so the children don't matter.
Oh, wow.
That is like so rude.
Oh my God.
Good for him. And I'm like, with 3 children, clearly the children matter, you know? And it's like, no, do not be.
You're like, here, have one of mine.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that.
Really aggressive. Yeah.
Mike's like,
but is he always there? Because it's
always.
Like, do you then go to a point where you just go to another Tesco because you just don't want to deal with it? So you like drive an extra 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's put me off, and I feel like it's that thing that it makes you feel really bad about yourself because you think, well, I give to charity on my terms when I choose to. Also, I never have cash. Like Mike has always a bit of coins in his. I just don't. Like I don't. You know this, right? I never have
tap
cash.
your card now. You can tap
I'm not aware of this.
What?
Yeah, I was
now I've got no excuse.
Another charity thing, and I went, I'm really sorry, COVID. I just didn't want to change. They went, we got a card tapper. You can tap here. So I was like, oh, that was it.
Oh, this feels so bad.
But what you could do to get back to that guy, adopt a child and show up with the adopted child and see,
I've adopted a child.
That's better than giving you 50p.
That's so extreme.
So extreme.
I feel like we've really come across as horrible people. Obviously, we love to give to charity.
No, we love, yes. Well, I learned a lesson from mum and dad, and they would be like, oh, we've chosen 2 charities to donate to this year, but maybe next year we'll come to you. And I was like, that's a really clever, and it's true. And it's a really smart way to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very true. Do you want a couple other quick ones?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Todd, I arrived to pick up a blind date. Turned out to be my high school band teacher, the one still married to his wife.
I don't get it. What does that mean?
It was
affair, having an affair with a student.
You're still married.
Oh wow. Yeah,
you're so innocent. You're like, I don't get it. I don't get what. Explain it to me. Like, I've dated my teachers before. What's wrong?
Wait, but I did actually. Just I did in law school. I had like a little flingy, I guess, with
penetrative sex.
No, I didn't. No,
this is
no,
oh.
no, I didn't.
So what's a flingy then?
Like we made out, maybe kiss, whatever. And he wasn't like so like there was the head of the class, like the teacher, and then they had like an assistant
teacher.
Assistant. Yeah, but in university,
like in Legally Blonde.
Right.
Yeah.
And oh my god, this is Legally Blonde. Emmett, and she gets with the. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah. On a yacht.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There was potential for an orgy.
Oh, and you let that just sail away.
I walked away. I sort of in that moment went, no. And I walked away from the situation.
Not for me.
But there was potential. I just want to point out.
You weren't in your kind of yacht wearing gear. That was it. It was a bit of a faux pas.
I mean, to be honest, though, once you get on a sex yacht, there's nowhere to go. So I'm glad you didn't get on that boat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my god, this was so much fun. I feel like I could talk to you for another 5 hours, but I think it's like bedtime for you. No, what time is it there?
Yeah, it's 9 p.m.
Oh, way past your bedtime.
Sorry. I had it I'm not going to lie though. I had a nap literally 2 hours ago. And now I'll go back to bed.
Fantastic. Well, Christian, it was so lovely having you on the show.
Lovely to see you.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Like my physical address
on your socials. Where can people
if we
find you?
On a date? No, just put Christian Hull into let's go with TikTok. Go to TikTok. TikTok's how much better is TikTok than any other platform?
I mean, it's nice because it's silly and people don't take themselves so seriously, right?
It's so dumb.
Yeah. Although I am concerned over the fact that I have 9-year-olds following me, and most of my content includes vibrators, so it's quite.
Oh yeah.
You know,
you did a live. You did this thing.
I did a live, and it was quite weird because, again, when you can do a live on TikTok and get people to come in on the live, and they were all like kids in their bedrooms.
Really?
Yeah, and I was a bit like, oh god, this is a bit cringy. And then I went off the live, and they give you diamonds that sort of gives you money.
Yes, they give you weird.
Yeah, and I was a bit like, oh, this is awful. Like, I don't want these kids to give me money. So I haven't done it yet.
But then when you go and look at what like one diamond is worth, it's worth like 0.001 cent.
Oh yeah, I
made 10 cents for that hour and a half.
Exactly, something like that. Yeah. It was something like that. Do you do lives a lot, and are your followers quite young, or are they not?
Well, I don't know because TikTok doesn't give you a breakdown. I know I've got a lot of mum followers, and you do. You'll get a lot of younger kids, but I just sort of push through and pretend I don't, so that they maybe
Yeah.
Because it is like my content's very adult.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I sort of like, I was thinking maybe I should add the 18 plus, at the top just to kind of feel a bit better about myself. But I do try. Yeah. I mean, there have been videos that I've put on Instagram and other places that I haven't put on TikTok for that reason. But yeah, I think my content is still quite adulty for the platform, but I'm enjoying it. I like it. Anyway.
No, your stuff's great. And especially your Instagram stuff when the two of you recreate the things that you recreate. It's
faithfully recreate. I think it's important to say.
Yes.
So great. It's so great.
We should do a pajama party again.
Yes.
Soon at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
We'll do one of those again. That'd be great.
Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Christian.
Thank you for having me. You guys are so fun. I wish I was there. Oh, well, maybe in a year.
No.
I wish I was there.
Good luck with the book. I'm really excited. I'll go and pre-order it now, and I hope it goes.
Oh, no, don't. I'll just send you.
No.
Email me your address. Just send you a free copy. It's honestly, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And everybody that's been listening, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for everybody who sent in disaster date stories. I'll share some more on my stories this week. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a review, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.